So as you look at some of these early top 25s, I just want to run through, start with ESPN's. So I'll just go like 1 to 10. Indiana, Texas, Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon, Ohio State, Texas Tech, Miami, Ole Miss, Texas A&M, Alabama all the way down at 21, by the way. Just wanted to note that. The on 3 top 25, a little bit different. They've got Ohio State 1, Georgia, Texas, Notre Dame, Indiana at 5, Oregon, Texas Tech, Texas A&M, Miami, and Oklahoma at 10. So, but a lot of the same teams. Like these are teams that we saw in the playoff this year, teams that were super relevant to the story of the season this year. And again, at Notre Dame, we've said this as we've talked about Marcus Freeman and sort of the way the team coming out of this season. They are a championship or bust roster. Same with Oregon. Like some of these teams that we saw have tough endings to the season, not surprised to see them already kind of getting that type of attention. Preseason polls are going to be wrong, right? In this era, everything is drastically different. You don't know how new pieces are going to work. Really wrong last year. But this feels like the right grouping of teams to be talking about kind of heading into next season.
I tend to agree with that. I mean, the common thread with a majority of the teams that are there are returning quarterbacks. Like Indiana had to get one out of the transfer portal. Texas Tech got a quarterback out of the portal. Miami, of course, is getting their quarterback out of the portal. But when you look at the rest of the teams, Texas got their quarterback coming back. Notre Dame, Georgia, Oregon with a huge returning quarterback. Julian Sands back at Ohio State, right? Like Texas A&M is going to have their guy back. So to me, I think that's important. The idea of being veteran, but also at the most important position. The interesting thing to me is like, it feels like we do this every year where we just kind of go with the typical names and the coaches that we're familiar with, etc. Notre Dame, should they not be the preseason number 1? They got the best quarterback, maybe.
I know.
Maybe.
I mean, you're losing Love and Price, right? So
I'm with you there. But we know that that's a team that wants to run the ball regardless.
I know, and they'll be able to
They've
run the
upgraded
ball.
at wide receiver too. Like their wide receiver group might be the number 1 crew from their number 1 to number 3, and then who they bring in rotationally after that. And I anticipate that their defense can take a step because some of their best players were also guys who had to return. So I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there.
No, it's a fair question. I think that's a fair one. I was also a little surprised to see Texas so high, but then I thought about who they brought in, right? Yeah. And, kind of forgot that they flipped Hollywood Smothers. I think that's going to be huge for the run game. Arch was really good by the end of the season.
He got better. I still think that I'm going to wait and see. I'm not going to be the guy.
I think we should because of what we thought we were going to get last year.
That's why I'm not going to do it. And more of this is about the way that we talk about him and what that means for him in particular, rather than being right on things. Like that got out of control. And I got to a point where I genuinely felt bad for him because he didn't ask for that.
Yeah. But again, you're adding Cam Coleman and Hollywood Smothers. Like those are two massive portal pickups. So yeah, I'm with you on not going overboard, but still being pretty excited about what that Texas offense is going to look like.
On 3, putting Ohio State at 1 is kind of insane.
I wanted to get your reaction to that. Where would you have them? Like what range?
I would have them somewhere between 5 and 10.
It's clearly because of the quarterback and Jeremiah. Like that's clearly
that's what it is. Everybody's like,
2 players.
Those 2 are back. Yes. But they have a lot to replace on defense, which they did a year ago. They replaced a ton of guys.
No, they do though.
It's a question. That offensive line was not good by the end of the year. So I got to wait and see if those guys can take a step in their development. And then outside of Jeremiah too, like there is a question at wide receiver depth now for the first time in over a decade.
And no Brian Hartline to plug and play, right?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens with all of that too. It's an interesting thing. Like Ohio State at 1 feels really insane to me, at least.